Howdy, folks. Eddie Smith here, Country Road Entertainment, and now also Inside Studio CRE. So, if you're watching this on Facebook, we have added a second channel specifically for these live streams, and that's again that's Inside Studio CRE. So, that being said, coming to you live from what I sometimes call the armpit of hell. That's right, the Phoenix, Arizona area, where it's already been in 100+ numbers. We are broadcasting live, taking your comments. And today's special guest is Nathan Dean from Nathan Dean and the Dam Band. For those of you who've been following these streams, on our first live stream, we actually brought on Bill Bogan, his drummer, who kind of filled us in on the excitement that they had up in Denver as things began shutting down and disrupting all of our musicians and our love for going and seeing live music and whatnot. So here, with that being said, let me go ahead and bring Nathan on. Hey, Nate, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you, Eddie?
I'm vertical, getting tired of being in my house. What's going on over your end? I've seen you doing a lot of those live music concerts and streams. How's that been going?
Good. Um, we started doing it as soon as we got back from Denver, pretty much, because figured this was going to go on for a while. So I think we probably been doing the live streams since around St. Patrick's Day, maybe a couple days after that. Doing a few a week. Yeah, it's good. Like it's nothing like playing live. It's
Right.
weird. You know, it, it's figured it's something to keep keep busy, keep playing. Because if
Mm-hmm.
me personally, if I don't play for a while, I kind of forget how to play.
No, come on now.
I
So,
don't know how to play, but I could, I forget how some songs go, things like that.
oh, I don't believe that. I have put you on the spot so many times with requests, and you say you don't remember the song, and then you start playing, and it was just like, what did you rehearse right before he went on?
Well, who knows?
I'm just saying. Speaking of putting you on the spot, Riley, my stepdaughter, just came into the chat on YouTube, and she says, "Hi, Nathan. I miss you so much," and she sent you a heart.
Oh, thanks, Ryan.
I still remember. Was it the first or second time she saw you live, and she requested some what's her face Taylor Swift, so you played the other song.
Yeah,
She still loves you though. She didn't like you for that day, but
it'll happen.
stuff happens. But yeah, let's go going back. So I was talking to Bill a few weeks ago, and he was telling us what it was like when everything started happening in Denver, like it just started shutting down around you. So you were
Yeah.
you were up there ready to play, weren't you? Already a day or two into it, or did you not start yet, or were you getting ready to go to
Well,
Wisconsin or Wyoming? Rather, sorry.
no, we actually, yeah, we were getting ready to go to Jackson. We
Uh-huh.
had, um, it all started to shut down and things when we were in Denver.
Okay.
And so our last date there was supposed to be the 15th. Well, Jackson had already decided that they were going to shut down. Um,
Right.
that was the middle of that week. So the 12th or something like that of March. Jackson let us know because we were supposed to start there on the 16th. Um, they let us know they were going to be shutting down. So actually, the Grizzly Rose, um, the band that was supposed to be coming in for them the following week, had called them and said, "I don't know if we want to come down because of this thing," and
Oh,
and
okay.
they had asked if we'd stay another week. I I kind of had felt like it was going to shut everything down to begin with, so
Hmm.
I asked them if if Cody, Bill, and Dominique, which is the bass player that we were having in at that time,
Okay.
um, I asked if they would play, if they wanted to stay, because we had driven up there. I asked if they wanted to stay and if that was all right with the Grizzly Rose, and the Grizzly Rose said that's fine. I flew back on that Monday morning, the 16th, and then on the 17th, they found out like the state of Colorado shut all the bars down. So those guys didn't even have an opportunity to play the next
Oh,
week
wow.
anyway. Yeah.
That just sounds like a disaster.
I had, yeah, I had kind of seen it coming. And so
Uh-huh.
that's why, plus, I, I live with people who have immune deficiencies. So I didn't
Mhm.
want to, be exposed. But the thing of it is, like, come to find out now, I got tested um 2 weeks ago
Uh-huh.
for the antibodies, and
Okay.
I had it.
No
I've
way.
had it. So, and I think I had it. I think I may have gotten it in Denver, and so the reason I came back right away was to try to not get it, and I think I had already had it because I felt like I was sick when I got back from Denver, and I was, um, I was, I felt like a kind of cold, really. Like I felt like was lethargic and tired and fatigued, and but I didn't. I lost all my um, taste and smell, like literally, and I wasn't congested at all, but I just couldn't taste or smell anything for a good couple weeks. And I didn't, I got better after a few days with feeling bad. I didn't really think about it, but I had went and gotten tested for the antibodies, and they said with the way the tests came back, it was basically I had it probably in the middle of March, which makes sense.
Wow. Yeah, it's
So
funny, so many of us thought that they had it, and I remember reaching out to you, and you were trying to politely say that you couldn't leave, and here I was trying to put together all this other nonsense. Wow, dude. I'm glad you're
right,
feeling better. We're actually thinking I had it in January, but, they won't test me for anything, so all I've had is
yeah,
multiple chest X-rays. So,
yeah.
they like taking pictures. So, are you feeling pretty normal now?
No, yeah, feel
Okay.
totally fine.
Okay.
Um, and actually on Wednesday, I'm going to um, donate plasma because they've been asking for people that have had it to
Oh, excellent.
donate plasma. Try to help, with people that are sick now. Um, so going to do that. Just heard about that today. Like they reached out um, this morning, and so Mandy and I are going to donate plasma on Wednesday.
So, I guess it's safe to say that your own immune system is what fought off the virus itself?
What's that? Sorry, it was cutting out.
I said, so I would it's so did they say that that your own immune system naturally fought off the virus then?
Basically, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
That's
got
awesome.
lucky enough, or there's just since they don't know anything about it really, don't know if the reason some people get it worse is a gene thing or if it's who knows.
Mhm.
Feel really lucky though that I just had mild symptoms, and I know that the numbers are in your favor
Mhm.
regardless because it's only 95% of people who get it are mild or asymptomatic, but still
Right.
you're on the 5% to have it be severe. I don't want to be in that. You know,
Well, and the thing
that's a
is
big
that
enough percentage.
yeah, I mean, you don't wanna be in that 5%, but we're also talking about an infection that is so freaking contagious. Like, it's insane,
Yeah.
you know? It just blows my mind. Real quick, because there was a couple of questions in the chat. So Nathan Dean is actually the lead singer and the rhythm guitar for his band, Nathan Dean and the Damn Band. There's a fellow in the chat who was asking how you got your start as a drummer. I think you got you confused with Bill. So maybe we'll spend a second because there's some folks in here that are not familiar with you. Maybe if you want to just give yourself a brief background for them.
Let me move closer to her because you keep 1 second.
Yeah, I noticed there's some reception issue right there.
Walk through the house here. Oh. All right. Cut up back. Um. So anyway, I started.
I think we're losing you. You still there?
I started the band in 2005.
Okay.
You there?
Now you're there. Yeah.
Okay. I started the band in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Right around Thanksgiving
Okay.
of 2005. So I've had the band for almost 15 years now. In the Valley. And then in 2008, we hit the road full times. For a long time, good till basically 2015, we were just on the road all the time. We'd play in Arizona maybe a couple times a year, but we just lived in our motorhome, traveling the country. So
Okay.
there's a lot of people that didn't really hear of a long time, though we'd been a band for a while. We were in the Valley. It was kind of funny that way. Like we'd talk to people that, I've been going to the bars for 3 years and never heard of you. Well, we've been traveling the country for the last 3 years, so.
Now, and
Yeah, that was
you
always kind of
travel as far as what, Oklahoma, Illinois, trying to think of what else out there. Um, give what the Dakotas, what, North and South Dakota, Wyoming. Are those about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was. I was looking it up a couple of weeks ago just because I was curious to how many weeks that we play.
Mm-hmm.
In total, we've played 22 at this point.
Those about right? Yeah.
So most summers, we play like 11 to 12 different states. We kind of have the same. Uh,
Oh, sounds like we're losing you again, Nate.
same route.
Hey, hang on with us, folks. It seems that Nathan Dean is having some Wi-Fi issues. We should have him back here in a second. Nope. Hopefully,
1 second. Let me.
There you are. Okay. Now you might want to try maybe going out and then coming back in. So while we're waiting on Nate, thanks again for all of you that are joining. We have Nathan Dean from Nathan Dean and the Damn Band on the air with us today. If you're new here, be sure to hit that like button in Facebook and YouTube. And YouTube, we're now broadcasting from our new channel dedicated to just our studio interviews, and that's on youtube.com/Inside Studio CRE. Oh, you back, Nathan?
I think.
Yep,
But it's
you're
still
moving it.
You're still cutting out quite a bit.
Oh, geez.
Not sure what's going on.
Are you on Wi-Fi or just straight data?
What's that?
Are you on Wi-Fi or straight data? Yeah, because you keep freezing up too.
I've switched to both.
I think we lost you again. All right, folks. We're going to get Nathan Dean back here in just a moment. Just some run of the mill, internet issues. Nowadays, with everybody, so many people at home, it's just exhausting the towers if you're using your standard data from your cellular carrier. Then if you're at home using Wi-Fi, the internet providers are just plumb overloaded. So anything can happen. In order to keep this channel going, generally, we have like one of those gigabit connections, and that's the only way it keeps us running. Because even if everyone's on it, we're still, um, what do you call it? Still broadcasting. So he's going to be back here in just a minute. We have a Lisa who's from Dubai, and she said that lockdown has just finished in Dubai. That's awesome. And thanks for watching. I'm not sure if you're a fan of country music or not, but if you are, definitely subscribe and smash that like button. And I put this up a second ago, and it said, "Hi Nathan, miss you," from Carly Smith. I'm assuming that's my wife watching in the stream. We already saw my daughter pop up. That's funny. And Elisa says that she hopes we are well. Yeah, we're okay. We're just slowly reopening the United States, hoping to get things back to normal. A lot of us want to get back to work. I know I want to get back to shooting in public and working and having an income. um, let's see here. Let's see here. Nate's just reaching out. All right. Hey, SoCal. Okay. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate your support with the new channel. Yeah. So, we've been at this for 3.5 years, folks. We are, have been on Country Road Entertainment on YouTube for quite some time and on Facebook. And what we do is we support local live music wherever that may be. So, if you're coming in from the East Coast, hopefully you learn about some new musicians out here and so on. We do travel quite a bit. Our general uploads that we do on the Country Road Entertainment channel are kind of like what I call a music travel vlog. So you might be tuning into one of those one day, and we would be on the road essentially with or heading towards meeting up with a musician who happens to be on the road or on tour and whatnot. So definitely fun stuff. Let's see here. Riley comes in and says, "Love you, Eddie Nathan." Well, we love you too. Yeah. So we're gonna have Nathan back in just a moment. Seems to be just an issue with his phone, evidently. So if you stand by with us and bear with us, we're gonna have him back on the air and just a short moment here. Let's see here. We are going to be using a different device evidently for him, and that's fine. While we're waiting for him, if you have any questions for me, be sure to drop them in the comments both on Facebook and in YouTube. We'll be glad to entertain them. All right. So George Hodges, I'm glad to see another really talented artist on here. I'm starting to enjoy this program more and more. What would be cool, I think, is hooking artists up with newly written songs by unknown songwriters, and they have to put the tune to it to make them that their own as they perform it. Nathan Dean is a great artist that could make any song his own. That is actually a really cool idea, and I appreciate that, George. We've actually been talking about doing different things, whether it be competitions, challenges, or games, essentially with the musicians. We just haven't kind of narrowed in on that. It's been a challenge coming up with content specifically because of the whole COVID-19 thing. There's a lot of other things that we normally do, and that's kind of what brought us back into the studio to do these virtual interviews, which are pretty cool. Actually, we have, because of this, we've come up with some new ideas that once everything opens up, we're going to try out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Looks like Nate's back. Let's go ahead and try to bring him on. Hey, Nathan.
All right, see if this works. Try a different phone.
All right. Okay, that seems better already. So George, we were just talking about George Hodges. He's a watcher, and he had this neat idea where we should take artists that have newly written songs, maybe even an unknown songwriter, for example.
Yeah.
And pair that with an artist and have the artist put the tune to it. That'd become a fun challenge, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know who would have a real good time with that though? Ethan Newman. I mean, think about it. I mean, he pretty much makes his own version of any song after about 11:30 anyway.
That's true.
And it's funny as hell. I like it. So yeah, we hopefully we bring back some of the watchers, but yeah, you're clear and you're coming in just fine. So um before we lost Nate, oh by the way, you missed it. So there was some hellos. My wife popped in, said that she missed you. I was actually surprised to see her in the chat. That's a first.
Nice.
And then my daughter popped up and she said that she loved both of us, so that's nice. Yeah, one of these days, they keep asking, and I think what we're going to see is probably the kids might sit in on one of them sometime. But I got to be very careful. And we have trolls coming in through Facebook that are going to get blocked. Okay. And talking crap about my daughter. So yeah, the unfortunate thing is you will get trolls on these feeds. So he's been. Yeah, please don't come in here and swear, troll, or talk about my family. That's just wrong. So he's gone. All right. So we were initially talking about you, so and your background. So since you're a little bit more clear, if you want to just summarize what we were talking about with when you founded the band and so on, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I founded the band in 05. Played locally for a few years. Then we went on the road starting in 2008 and just toured. I mean, we still tour quite a bit. But there were quite a few years that we just stayed on the road. When we'd come to town, we would go play at Jolie's, or we would play, a couple other places. But Jolie would let us park and just stay in her. At that time, she just had a dirt lot, and we would park in the back of the dirt lot, and we just stay at Jolie's.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And then they put that school in there, and the school wasn't too keen on having a motorhome just camped out for 2 weeks.
Oh no, you're.
So that had to
I can see that being maybe a potential problem for sure.
right.
So now, with everything that's been happening and everything like that, I mean, there's got to be a tremendous amount of pressure on you right now because all you boys are essentially full time at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know Bill's got a little hustle he's working on right now to try and bring in some cash here and there. But what's your do you have a game plan, or have you really been, because I know on my end with the bookings I have for the bands I work with going forward, I'm kind of like in the dark. Everything's kind of holding. I really
Well,
have no plan to dig out of this hole just yet.
everybody's really in the dark, unfortunately. I mean, I've been keeping tabs on the places that we play,
Uh-huh.
but until everything actually opens and we get an idea of what's going to happen, there's really no way to judge how it's going to go. I mean,
Right.
even the restaurants now are going to be able to open on the 11th, but it's going to be with restrictions. So if they can only be at 50% capacity, I mean, what some people I don't think are realizing is, not only are these businesses, I mean, these businesses are the same as me, or the band. Like, we've been out of work for 2 months. Well, most of them, have no income stream for the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to have to try to recoup their losses in that amount of time. And what's the last thing that they're going to be able to bring back? It's going to be entertainment, because
Oh,
that's just how it's going to have to go. And that's without, like, you have to understand that it sucks. It's really, it's really crappy. But you know so we're just trying to brainstorm ways to um, do different things. Maybe
mhm.
once people are once we're able to get in closer contact with more people, we can set up these. I know that some people are setting up these, like Matt Ferris is doing the Corona caroling thing, but doing a more generalized um, um, getting people in one area, but just in their cars, type of thing.
Right.
Where even if and I've also started to book some, and just this is for road, like people on the road, just booking these little private parties, um,
Mhm.
virtual parties for, and it's not, you're not going to make a bunch of money doing it, but it's something.
Oh, sure.
Because unfortunately, like I said, entertainment's going to be the last thing to come back. And even when it does come back, venues are going to have a hard time they're paying what they paid before, so they're
Yep.
going to build back up. Um, and that's to say, true, just strictly bars and live music venues, there's no dates for when they're going to be able to open at all.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, everything's gonna open in phases. A lot of places when they open, it's going to be interesting because again, they may not be able to open at full capacity. So, in a lot of places just to survive, they need to be between 80 and 100% of capacity.
Right.
So if they're not even remotely, making a profit, the main challenge they're going to run into is, well, how are we going to pay for the entertainment? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and yeah.
if more of these businesses would have had the opportunity to get some of that SBA funding, then it'd be a different story. But when freaking $100 million corporations got their hands on those loans, the
Right.
places that hire most bands like us didn't get any of that, and so then they're gonna it's gonna be even harder for them to recoup the losses.
Well, did you hear? I don't know if you'd spoken to Bill, but I put in for those small business loans a while ago. I mean, as you know, I've been full time, ironically, since January 28th, and that
Yeah.
first month, man, was beautiful. Let me tell you, it was like I can do what I love and I can sustain my family. But all the while during that month, we were watching this whole thing brewing
Right.
in China and then hitting France and whatnot. And so 4 weeks into it, this thing hits. And if the bands are not working and the venues aren't open, you can pretty much kiss goodbye to my income. You know,
Right.
I mean that's 100% the source. And I have tried the SBA thing, and I have heard nothing. So
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
I wasn't even asking a lot for it. You figure my wife works for free because she's married to me, so the only person that gets is on the payroll is me. So we didn't even ask for that much. It wouldn't take us long
Yeah.
to what do you call it, to sustain the business on one person on payroll. But
Right.
I don't know. I
Well,
mean, I
and
may
we're
give up trying. I don't know.
the band is like, I'm the only person on payroll with the band as well, because it's a 1099. I mean, we get 1099 from all the bars. The venues that we play is 1099 income, and then like the guys in the band are all it's also 1099. So um like that's you can't consider them employees, unfortunately. That's not when you apply for those loans, that's um you don't count the 1099 employees. So who knows. It's
Yeah.
it's all
Well, the
eh,
thing is we're all considered contractors.
right.
Oh, at 100%. Um, and I gotta check with you because I'm still unsure if I've heard of anybody actually, because I've spoken to, I mean, as you can imagine, several musicians, and they all said that they were going to put in for the SBA, or whether it be the payment protection plan or whatnot, or the contractor self-employment, unemployment thing, right?
Right.
I don't I know people have been getting, no, I think, yeah, I know a couple of people were able to get onto the unemployment, and I think maybe one person might be getting that automatic extra $600 or so. I don't know.
I
Um,
haven't heard I haven't heard anything that
yeah,
anybody's getting any of that as of this moment. Like, I haven't heard. I thought I had read that um
Well, supposedly that extra $600 is supposed to kick in automatically. So they're instructing all of us to claim unemployment, which I at this point I've decided not to, but they say to claim unemployment and then automatically you'll get that extra $600. And honestly, I
Right.
should, because even with me working, I'll get a few bucks here and there, but I'm not even close. I mean, I made less than 1 week of that unemployment that they're offering us. I made less than that in a month. But
Right.
but it's like for me, it's either I keep trying and I fail, or I just put everyone on hold till, whenever. I don't know if that's going to work too well. So I really don't know what to do myself,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going. I don't think anybody knows what I think they said May 12th, something like that, was when they were going to finally start getting um, some of that PUA stuff for gig worker type things in
Right.
Arizona. But who actually knows?
Well, and it's not like we're getting any straight answers from the state government over here. So, and for those of you who are watching from around the country, Nate and I are both based in Arizona, and it's been very confusing with our governor as to what's happening and when. I don't know about you, but I don't know if you were paying attention to the news. He suddenly showed up in a presser today, and
Yeah,
that we were opening up. So,
I watched the one on Friday or Thursday, whenever the last one was,
uh-huh.
and it was very vague. And then
Well, that was
all,
awful. That
and
was the
then all
worst.
of a sudden, I saw people posting today like, "Oh, restaurants are open on the 11th," and I was like, "Oh." So then I looked it up. I mean, I guess that's probably the better way to go about it. Just wait
Right.
till other people. There's no point in watching the long-winded press conferences. Just wait till everybody starts talking about it, and then look it up. It's a waste of time. He was
Right.
just sitting there rambling for after like 35 minutes where he wasn't getting to the point. I just shut it off. I was like, this is pointless. It's a
Well,
waste
even
of my day.
the
And
press
I'm not even
even
doing a lot during the day, but listening to some freaking idiot,
oh, I know.
any kind of politician just go drone on and on about, whatever. I just like, shut it off.
And we have a
I'll figure
Donna
it out.
commenting below. She says it's confusing everywhere. I just
Yeah.
think that the politicians just can't. I mean, I'll give them this. We haven't the country, the world hasn't really seen anything like this. Some saying, oh well, it's happened before, but I don't know. I mean, we didn't shut down for the swine flu. We didn't shut down for SARS, right? Last time I think that anything to this degree happened was in 1918 with the Spanish flu. And they eventually did shut everything down, and they stayed shut down for a while, but they also didn't have the infrastructure that we did today, let alone the population.
Right.
So it's still not the same scenario. So I'll give them credit, that like, okay, well, they don't really, I mean, if they don't really know what's going on, they don't understand what to do. That's fine. I understand that maybe it changes minute by minute, but
Right.
when they keep trying to say that they're going to open up, and then you really look at it, and the numbers in the US in terms of deaths keeps climbing. The number of affected people that are in bad shape hasn't changed much. It's still going up. So that goes to tell me that you're going to tell me we're going to open up in these stages, but the reason why they keep going back and forth is every day it's so different. They're like, maybe we'll just stall it a little bit longer. And maybe that's what's happening. And maybe I'm being too nice at saying that, but I think that the country is, as a whole is just like, at this point we're over it. We just need an answer. What's your plan? How are you going to keep us safe and get us working again? And I think that's what everybody is really thinking,
Yeah.
at this point. I think that we need to stop pointing fingers, and yes, it's a mess, but just give us answers. And and like that that the watcher stated, if it's confusing everywhere, well, that means that I hate to say it, but then POTUS needs to step up and say, hey guys, communicate with your people. And honestly, Ducey hasn't really done a whole lot of communicating, in my opinion, until like the last couple of days.
No.
He hasn't even really communicated with the city mayors, and he admitted that. So I was like, okay. Not that I want to get into politics on here. I will state that Country Road has never been a political station or channel or whatever the heck we are at this point. And Western
Yeah.
Fusion Man, I'm assuming this is Mr. Childress is
Oh,
popping in.
what's up, Brian?
What's up, dude? got to get Brian on here at one of these points. There's so many great musicians in Arizona, and I mean, in this channel, I mean, we're since we started traveling, we do have the plan that we want to do more and more, local musicians from all over the country, and that's definitely the case. But I'm also, in case any of you guys are at home wondering, and may it be Brian or David or whomever, why hasn't Eddie called me yet? Dude, guys, it's happening. It's going to happen. I just don't want to do everything all at once. We don't want to do, let's just go through every musician this week, and it's just, I don't want to do that. I mean, of course, the rule is when we did our first live stream, you have to have Bill Bogan. That's just a real rule. It is. But
Right.
how close I am with Bill. So let's see. Here we got George came back and says, wow, that's a big one. I will support you, and I hope you will entertain my idea of putting in the guys like me with a box of songs, that Everall songs with merit by artist. Yeah, I mean, that's totally a good idea. Yeah, George, we have a whole bucket of things we're trying to figure out right now, but everything takes time and planning. And but yeah, there'll be something like that, at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like, if he's got a lot of songs already written, or ideas, or
Yeah, and if anybody's watching, if you are a songwriter and you have some ideas, yeah, go ahead and contact us off the air. It's not like something that like we really want to get into too much on the air, but reach out to us, and share your ideas. Say you got some music or and whatnot. If you are a musician and you like to participate in a project like that, or even be on the air at some point, yeah, just totally reach out to us. That's cool. Let's see here. Donna says parks are open here now. Gradually plan on slowly opening restaurants, etc. Schools are closed for the year. That's basically what we have, I think, here in Arizona as well.
Yeah. Where's Donna based out of? Do you know? Can you see?
Donna is out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And we have somebody self-promoting their Twitch channel. And bye-bye. Usually we try to have moderators on here, and it's so hard to do this sometimes, because it's like, okay, I'm hosting the show, I'm producing the show live, and then I have to moderate these chatters that are just, either off the kilter. Like, you get a lot of people from, I don't know, I don't want to say, but I can tell what part of the world they're coming in from, and they're very not friendly. They come in and they just have bad language and everything like that. But I wonder, because I know on YouTube, if you get blocked too many times, they look at your account and they end up actually blocking or deleting your account. Yeah. I wonder if it happens on Facebook, because Facebook is the worst with trolls. When I was on with Bill, we had over 100 people in here at one point, and 60 of them were trolls.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, it was bad. Oh yeah, Donna says New Jersey. So I don't know. I'm actually surprised to hear that anything's open in New Jersey. I have a lot of friends and family there, and the ones I've spoken to are very nervous and very concerned, and they don't go outside. Although my buddy from just before my college years, him and his wife, they just finally started going, and they have these social distancing drinking parties. And what it is everybody puts their lawn chairs on the end of their driveway, and they drink and yell at each other and wave. So that's the new thing now, because nobody leaves, and he's essential. That guy, he's delivers the mail for the post office. I would not want that job. I'd want to come home and just spray me with disinfectant. Give me the fancy gel.
Right.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting process. And I, for one, as badly as I want it to open up now, I know that, there's so many risks involved. And then it's even worse yet. I don't know if you've been paying attention. So obviously, I'm sure you know that Charlie couldn't afford to sustain,
Right.
doing takeout and delivery. I believe, what was it? It was announced yesterday. Four Peaks Brewing, they had a restaurant in Scottsdale. They've closed. I don't know about the Tempe one, so I can't confirm.
Yep.
And then they've shuttered permanently. And then the Still Horse Saloon, which was a classic biker bar in the North Phoenix area near I-17, they've completely shuttered.
Right.
So I think we've gotten to that point now where it seems like we're going to probably start seeing every day another bad piece of news. You
Yeah.
know, there's only so long. Like, I'm actually concerned about like some of the locals here, like Tom Ryan Saloon. Love those guys. How long can they go without, any income whatsoever?
Right.
You know, so and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hopefully, um, like myself personally, I was able to get a lot of my bills at least like have a stay on them for a couple months
Yeah.
while this is going on. So at least, you know, so hopefully a lot of these businesses have some some of that possibility going on. Um, but who knows? Uh, it's it's unprecedented, and figure it out as it comes along, I guess. But
Oh no. Now, have you considered? Let me ask you this, and this is going to be a question you're not going to like. Have you considered what you may have to do? Let's just say if things start opening up, but musicians and promoters like myself, we can't get back into the game until say next year. Have you considered what you may have to do in the meantime to get by, or you think you're okay?
I've thought about it. And I've reached out to guys I know that own businesses, to see if they have any work that they need help with. Just give me a call.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that I'm gonna have to like go find a full time job.
Right.
Um, I think I can figure it out, like doing live streams, or even when we can get back out and start playing a little bit here and there. I think we could probably scrape together whatever we will make to keep
Uh-huh.
to keep going, to keep there's going to be some places that we play a lot up in Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas.
Hmm.
They've a lot of those places are going to open full bore here soon.
Oh,
But
really? With no limitations?
yeah, there's just nearly not. I mean, they're gonna have limitations just like everybody else to start, but the population is so spread out up there.
True.
Um, it hasn't affected those areas nearly as much as it has in other parts of the country. Not to mention, they're that part of the country is a little more um, self-sustaining and with their mindset. Like the
Hmm.
government is not going to be able to tell me what to do,
This is
type of
true.
thing.
That's very
Um,
true.
so I think that we're going to have the opportunity to play some some shows like that over the summer. It's not going to be until July, August. I don't anticipate being able to play in June, um, anywhere really. I mean, we might be able to play um, for smaller pay, or maybe even just you know with a tip bucket out in some places. But to actually play gigs that we're used to playing,
Hmm.
I can't see it happening before July, honestly.
No, I agree.
I mean, it'd be awesome if it could, but with the current climate of everything going on, like I'll be shocked.
Right.
And I'll go play, like locally, especially like if we got to go out and play, and
Why
just
don't you come
just
over
to
here and why don't you come do a live stream from the side of my pool? My wife will make dip and feed you margaritas.
I've been trying to lay off of sugary things on this. If I
Sure.
was
We're
drinking
doing the opposite
margaritas,
this lockdown, man. My wife has packed on 5 pounds onto me. I swear she's been experimenting and cooking. And I looked in the mirror the other day. I'm like, oh God, the gym needs to open back up. That or well, we're actually hoping to have my workshop done. So, I'll get out of the studio by heading into the workshop in the garage and building furniture and burning calories that way. Yeah, I'm going to build calories. That's it.
there you go. Build calories.
Hey,
That's what you're doing now.
that's right. I'm doing that actually right now too. See, I'm all censored. No free advertising. Oh, almost advertised for them. Okay, Yeti, you can have one shout out. That's all. Nate, I'll explain that later. It's a joke. I usually Nate and I didn't have any time to prep. We had a change in guests at the last second. And there's been a reschedule, and usually I spend about 20 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes prepping the guest for the interview and going over some talking points and what we can do and not do on the air because Facebook just is so controlling. But so we're kind of winging it. Yeah. So Brian's saying, anyone know if Charlie's reopening next week? So here's my understanding. I've been trying to reach Charlie because she wanted me to come down there, and I've been down there twice. Charlie, if you're watching, I tried to get in. It's locked, and I didn't see anyone inside. So, but I've been by the restaurant twice. Now, my understanding is she had every plan. Then when she did close, to reopen when they started doing so. So what I think is, even if she's not going to be at 80 or 100%, I think she's going to try. If you want my 2 cents,
Yeah.
I know her well enough. She is way too hardworking and way too stubborn to give up. So as soon as they say you can open your doors, she's going to open them, I think.
Right. I mean, and Jolie's is closed for the 10 days or something, just for 2 weeks, whatever it was, and they're opening, or they're at least starting to do the delivery and stuff again, starting whatever date is. I think it's tomorrow that they decided that they're going to start doing it, because I think they whatever the Ducey's thing on whenever his last one was, not today's, but and one of the things was what's open, bars or restaurants can do delivery and takeout. Well, that's been the same way the whole time, dum.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they could, right? Like they could deliver and do takeout since this whole time. The way you're acting like that's a good thing. It's been the same way. Now, obviously, the 11th, now that dining rooms are going to be able to be open, that's a huge difference. But that conference last week, when it was like trying to they put that on the talking point, like that everything you could deliver and take out the whole time. Like
whole time,
putting that in there.
I actually, it's funny. There was a couple of bars in the area, and I got to get a hold of Thomas Smith, if y'all know him over at Jersey D's. I don't believe he opened for takeout at all during this, and I would have. The guy's got some killer wings. I mean, if they would have let me do it, I'd be doing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But some places just chose not to. They really did.
Right. Yeah.
Let's take a look at our comments here. Here we go. I got a Les Willis. Love what you're doing here with spotlighting talent. Oh, Nathan's the best. Known him for years. We harass him whenever we can. Greatest writer, entertainer, musician has yet to be discovered. Oh, greetings and salutations from Hillbilly Holler, Arkansas. Well, right on. It looks like something I need to check into. And Donna Tessanari, we try to support our best to support the local businesses, and local businesses, small businesses appreciate that. And you got to consider musicians, Country Road, these bars and restaurants. Like we're not really big into commercial places. We just support our brothers and sisters that are, local small businesses, and that's just the end of it. Heck, whenever we have in the past have done, a contest and we order plaques or we order awards or anything, they all come from small businesses. That's just the only way to do it. Local musicians have been gathering together here and doing Zoom concerts, virtual shows, however that works. Yeah, there's actually been lots. There's a saturation, in, I think, at this point, too, to an extent. I know on our group, Live Country Music in Arizona, that's dedicated just to Arizona, whereas, this is for the rest of the country and the world, rather. Nate, I don't know if we got people listening to our podcast now in France, and we have watchers and listeners in South America. People like country, man. Oh yeah, what was it? Germany just popped up on the map in my analytics the other day.
Well, I just did a Zoom show with some people over in London.
Really? I didn't see that.
Week. Yeah, so that was really cool and they were they were really into, they were into country, and I've heard that before, like especially like in Europe, like they love that music, but they don't hear it like live. They don't
Right,
get to
right.
hear it live very often. So
Well, years ago, when I was being or doing the Johnny Cash thing as a lead singer and impersonator, the a lot of the followings, and I was actually a member of a group that was founded by an Austrian. Germany and Austria are huge classic rock, rockabilly fans, and even early country, obviously because of Johnny Cash and um,
right,
uh, well, I'm trying to think of the other guys. I'm drawing a blank, but like Merle, all them. They love old country and they love old rock and roll, and it's really interesting. It's a massive following, and but they love Americans too. I mean, a lot of people think that everybody hates us around the world. That's not true, man. Well, maybe they don't like me personally, but they like our music. I mean, that's the one way you can look at it. But yeah, we oh yeah, the UK is another hotspot. We've had followers in the UK since late 2017, I think. So, it looks like we lost Nate. Where'd your video go, Nathan? Where'd you go, Nate? Where's Nathan? Can you hear me, Nate? I hear him.
if you can hear me, Eddie, somebody tried calling, and now I can't hear you, and now I can't find.
I should go back out. There you are.
There we go.
There you are. Yeah, that's a downfall. See, I mean, with all this technology, you can do it on any device, but the problem with doing it on your phone is if you get a phone call or something, it can interrupt your stream.
Yeah.
So here's another comment. So Donna said, Eddie, you're doing an amazing job. Happy to see that. Nathan, I follow your band and share your posts and shows as well as Country Road Entertainment. Stay safe. That's cool. See, yeah, you got fans all over the place.
That's awesome.
Did you did you catch our last interview?
No.
Oh, we had Calvin Rainwater on there. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Do you know? Are you familiar with him?
Just the name, I'm not
well,
familiar with.
He's out of Glendale, Arizona. He has an EP that came out in 2018 called I think it's called Sinners and Saints. Check it out. He's also got a really cool a music video. We had him on the air. This is like something that I've been trying to get you to do for years. Hire me and we'll do this kind of thing. But we had him on the air. When we staged his music video next to him while he played it live. It was pretty cool. So we muted the video while we were streaming that. But see, and that's the other thing, folks. I had a ton of stuff booked, and I've been pushing Nate to do some stuff with us too. And unfortunately, all that work is placed on hold because if they're not making any money, they can't.
Yeah.
They can't, yeah. So I mean, and honestly, and here's I'm gonna have to plug Patreon. We are at this point 100% viewer supportive. So if you like what we're doing here, please drop us some love. You can go to donate.countryroadentertainment.net, or you can go to www.patreon.com/Country Road Entertainment. And there's different tiers. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, and you get access to uncut videos. What do you call it? Just entertainment just specifically for that group, free swag, gifts, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. Really cool. And we appreciate it. It shows us that you care. And we've been at this for 3.5 years and we aren't going anywhere, but that support is basically what 100% is what's covering just our monthly expenses. Outside of that, I have to go beg at the corner to get enough change to buy food for my family. No, I'm kidding. I don't think my wife at least can still work, really. So I've been doing this way too long, haven't I, Nate?
It's been a while.
Yeah, when I can slip in all that kind of stuff. Oh, what was it? Dustin Lee Howell was he was on the air a couple weeks ago, and I spit all that in towards the end, towards the closing. Like, how do you do that without even thinking? Like 3.5 years of talking my butt off, You just know.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we are getting close to the end of our time here today. But before we wrap up, Nathan, let's go ahead and plug Nathan Dean the Damn Band. So you guys have a group that was it the Nathan Dean the Damn Band tour on Facebook, right?
Yep.
And then we have, I believe, just the page Nathan Dean the Damn Band. And
Correct.
then I believe you're available online at www.nathandean.net,
That's correct.
which is what you're supposed to be hiring Country Road Entertainment to revamp, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, whenever I start making money again.
Exactly. See, folks, out. You see how this all just goes downhill. The venues close, the clubs close, the bands don't work, Country Road don't work either. So,
Yep.
yeah, it ain't that a stinker. So, but yeah, www.nathandean.net. And and we've done some plugs before on this in the past. And actually, did I actually don't know if, now that I think about it, I don't know if I ever posted a full review of your last album. I need to get that out. But their last album came out in 2019, Citizen of the Universe. Very awesome. You can find actually you have 3 albums, right? That are all available on iTunes and Spotify and whatnot.
We have 4 actually.
Is it
But
4?
they're all available on iTunes. I don't think not all of them are available on Spotify, but
Evidently I can't count because I know that I have all of your music downloaded into iTunes.
well, see, there's the first album was put out as Nathan Dean and NQH,
Okay.
and then the next album was put out as with just Nathan Dean,
Uh-huh.
and then then 2 after that is Nathan Dean and the Damn Band. So if you go like to
Oh,
iTunes,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
you type in Nathan Dean. If you click on just Nathan Dean,
Uh-huh.
just one album comes up. But like when
Got
you
it.
search, it'll say Nathan Dean and the Damn Band, Nathan Dean and NQH. So it just like if you just search one thing, you'll only find each each band name or that amalgamation of the name. So then I probably should work on fixing that, changing that. But
Hey, you have the time now, man. Get on it.
well, I've been writing a lot in this time, so trying to get
Okay, I'm happy to hear that. And a lot of musicians have been telling me that. That makes me excited. You know what that means, folks? That means when we do open up and everything goes back to normal, all these guys are going to have lots of new music.
Yeah.
That's what that means. That makes me happy. And actually with that, I want to say, okay, so we mentioned Citizen of the Universe, but the album before that was the After Party, right?
Yeah.
And the After Party has one of my favorite songs, and I featured that many times. As a matter of fact, I just Googled Nathan Dean the Damn Band just for kicks to see what would come up. And what's funny is a recording that I shot back in December of 2018 just came up, and it was a dub over of Son of a Gun, which is my favorite track on that album. And I was fortunate enough to be brought up by the Damn Band to shoot, which again, thanks for letting me be there. I got to shoot it at the Grizzly Rose in Denver back in November, and it was like literally the most awesome experience. And the song that I got the best coverage of was Son of a Gun, and it was just brilliant. And when I got back to the studio a few days after the show, and I had both screens up, and I actually compared the studio version to the live version, and I've covered that live version several times,
Yeah.
but way better than the studio. There's just so much energy. I'm not saying that the studio recording's fine.
Yeah.
But on stage watching you guys play it, the studio doesn't, it never did it justice, man. You guys are just awesome with that song. I love it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun one to play.
Well, I mean, my kids are probably, bigger fans than me at this point, because when I started dating their mother, and finally they got moved into the picture. I've told you this before. Every time I turned the key in my F-150, that album would start playing. So those kids had every song of After Party memorized. They still do. They love you guys. I really miss taking the kids out to, back then Bourbon Jacks, but on the Sunday afternoons to see you play, or even whatever random night. They were nice enough to let my kids come in because that show happened to be a little earlier.
Right.
They loved coming and watching you, and that was awesome. And I hope those days come back again. I mean,
they will. Just might be a while.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon rather than ever. But with that, I don't want to keep you too much longer. Although I believe I owe you a phone call here in about 10. But I want to thank you for coming on the air. I've been trying to get Nate on the air for a few weeks, or at least get it scheduled, and he was able to come in the last minute for us, and it's really appreciate it. And by tomorrow, Nate, you're going to be all over Spotify again, iTunes, all that. We're on 20 platforms now, buddy.
That's awesome.
So really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun having you on, and I'm really glad to see that you and Mandy are on the mend and doing better. And if you want to share any of them antibodies, we'll work something out for the black market, make some money.
There you go.
I got you. Oh man, now I'm starting to talk like my daughter. I got you. Isn't that what the kids say nowadays?
Who knows?
I can't understand that language anymore. But
right.
But thanks for coming on today, and we'll have to have you on again soon once we get closer to opening up.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eddie.
All right. Hey, thank you. Have a great one.
All right, you too.
All right. Well, folks, that's going to be it for today. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping up. Again, that was Nathan Dean from Nathan Dean of the Damn Band. If you go back onto either one of our streams here on Facebook, YouTube, or on our podcast, you can go back to our first episode of our live streams where we do this, and you can watch or listen to our sit down with Bill Bogan, which was a lot of fun as well. Again, we apologize for the internet issues he was having. That's going to happen, folks. There's so many people online now that it's just killing the connection sometimes. And in order to do social distancing and comply with the rules and not have big crowds, sometimes we try to do these virtually, and there's just so much that's dependent on the internet. So that's why we have this monster connection coming into the studio. But again, you can follow us on Facebook at Country Road Entertainment. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Country Road Entertainment, and Inside Studio CRE is where you can find all of our interviews. And if you like what we do here, come back again. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button for notifications. And if you want to check us out on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Country Road Entertainment, go ahead and see. There's all kinds of, free giveaways, free gifts, all kinds of stuff we do with that because of your support. And we are viewer supported. So without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do these interviews or streams or any of the videos that we've done. So again, thanks a lot. Have a great week. Be safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. All right. So long.